Hi traders, in this video I am going to talk about some interesting stuff about this market that we are living and my plans. So basically, if you are watching the news, you are reading the studies, analysis, what is going to happen? One funny thing is that even the best of the best who are making all their money from employing tens of thousands of software engineers, data analysts, the biggest funds, even they couldn't predict this year's markets. Of course, it is not like 100% predictable, but they were so far off that it is very interesting. Now, it is because this is another scenario in the economy where it is so chaotic and it can lead to so many different outcomes that nobody can really put a high stake on any of the outcomes, because when you think, yeah, this is going to be the outcome, somebody comes and it is just a 180 turn. So I wanted to show you what I am working on these days. I wanted to tell you some news about the new the Gold Trader series that I am doing, and maybe we are going to use some AI to ask some interesting questions, these kind of things. It is interesting because AI also has a huge impact now on the entire economy, not just that the world's biggest like leading economy power is changing rapidly with completely different plans, strategies than before, but the AI revolution is also huge, and it's just something that we can't really, it is going to change the entire job market. It is probably going to bring the universal basic income further, like closer, basically, because there's a point where so many things are automated that it is not the issue anymore that was when the industrial revolution happened, and people lost their jobs because of machines, but still many new jobs were created. Right now it's a little bit different. I'm not saying that new jobs are not created, all these kind of things that are actually like higher volume jobs, for example. But the issue is that unemployment even in the developed world, it really is increasing. If you take a look at the numbers, it's crazy. And it is also because if you just graduate from college and you think it is going to lead you to success, to stable job, all these kind of things, it's kind of not true anymore, because it is not enough. Like, just with a basic college degree, there are some, of course, there are some professions that are still in, but there are so many of them that can be done by a random AI or AI plus Southeast Asian Indian guy who is a freelancer and can do it for tenth of what you would have to ask for if you are living in a Western country where your rent is thousands of dollars. So we have an issue there. Huge issue. And yeah, so there is going to be a like I am always in my head when I speak. I am always like for some reason I always want to use like quantum mechanics phrases or principles to explain it better, more understandable. Then I am processing my thought process, and I realize that it's bullshit because it's not more understandable. Okay, so but I hope you understand what I mean. And we have an issue also that most people really like, yeah, right now there are a couple investments that can make money, that can like your investments can be like maintained, not eaten by the inflation. But the issue is, and I am seeing this a lot now, in not every country, but in many countries, that basically most countries are reporting inflation in kind of a false way. And you see all over the world, not just in the US, they are kicking out analysts, which I, like, you know, I am doing a lot of analysis, and I am personally attacked by this, because I like to, like, when I am selling EAs, when I am trading, when I am giving advice, I like to state the clear numbers, the reality. And I have to tell you, most of the time, when I am telling the reality of trading, people are like, man, no, I am going to go ahead and buy that other EA, or ask advice from another person who is going to tell me that actually I can make 1000% gain in a year, and that is not even a high number, that is just the base that I can make. It's completely normal to be able to make 100% per month. It is a low expectation. And when I feel kind of stupid sometimes when I am telling the truth that is based on pure mathematics, pure data analysis, probability theory, economic numbers, when I am everything, studies, research. And it comes out that, yeah, you are in the high bracket, like in the top 1%. If you are making around 3% to, like, it's very high, but to 3 to 8, 10% gain a month it's really amazing. It is the top of the top. Even with 3 to 5%, it is a very top. So annually around 30-40% is crazy return. And if you are into investing, and because, and this is what I wanted to talk about, if you take a look at all the investment opportunities to keep your hard-earned savings just afloat, just to not lose money, because in like 5-10 years you are losing a huge percentage of your money to inflation, then it is not easy, because many of the like countries are kicking out analysts who are saying the true numbers because they don't like it. Many of the countries are just publishing completely false data on inflation, on unemployment rates, everything. And the countries, so nobody wants to tell the truth, because it is a tough situation that we are in. And even the leading powers in the world, not just like small developing countries, for them it's most of the time it's even harder to actually surpass data. So, and the other thing is combined with this is that, as the AI is saying also, and it is an issue, because there is a significant challenge basically for investors when investments fail to outpace inflation. So you are losing purchasing power over time, even if your account grows. So even if you are like in Europe, I don't know, it is for a normal interest rate, if you are putting your money in for a safe investment, usually you are getting maximum around 3 to 7% maybe. And if you think about it, really, yeah, it is like, for example, for 100k, it is around $5,000 a year, which you could say is pretty good. Which is like $5,000 a year is usually the average, around the average GDP per capita for not even the low income countries, but kind of like, okay, that's maybe around 6,000 or 7,000, but you get it. That's kind of the average GDP per capita per year for the upper middle income countries. So basically the middle income countries in the world. So that's a little bit like, interesting that you can't really calculate. It is hard to calculate in an objective manner and anything. And I am seeing so many of this now. I don't know if it's education or lack of mathematical, I don't know. But many people are comparing completely different things. Like, why would you compare, for example, your, like this thing that if you have $4,000 in the bank, you are wealthier than 80% or 90% of the entire globe. And these things are also always false. Like, I don't know who is making these statistics, but statistics are made, like, statistics are very interesting because they are very simple until you want to know the truth, because statistics can be manufactured very easily. For example, if you are measuring wages, like average wages by average and not median, yeah, man, when you are comparing these things, like, yeah, we have an average wage of, I don't know, even in not wealthy countries, yeah, it's a couple $1,000, and people are like, man, I am making $300. What are you talking about? And then if you learned a little bit of mathematics, you'll realize that if you're averaging the top oligarchs of the country with the lowest earnings, like everybody, you are going to have an average that is inflated, like you know what I mean, that is just much bigger than the actual, not average, the actual median salary that is like earned by the majority of people. And the median is basically like, the middle number. If you make like how do you say it in English? But if you are ordering the numbers in like from low numbers to high, and you pick the middle number or the average of the middle two, then you get the median, and that is so much closer, because then you don't have to care about the extreme numbers. And yeah, that is something that is crazy. Like I am going to show you. You have 10 people, but yeah, so the thing is, it's very, very, very hard now. And of course it's better that you are earning something, because it compounded interest, you are going to be alright. But you can't really expect to grow your account. You can like stay afloat, if you have 100k, you can basically have that equivalent of that 100k or 10k or anything if you are putting it in these investments, but you can't really grow it. And this is why many traders, many people are now going towards these crazy things like it's not that okay, so not like I wanted to say crypto is not crazy. What I wanted to say is that as average traders are trading crypto, but not just crypto, as they are trading in general, that is crazy, because the lack of education, financial education, and understanding of leverages, with CFDs, for example, all these kind of things, of real risks. Like, I know personally multiple, like, let's say traders who lost their house, who took up loans to get it into crypto. And it is because if you're seeing the curve, yeah, it is constantly basically going upwards. But there are periods when the majority of people are losing their entire net worth, and they can't really participate in that again. They can't really buy again. And so from the outside, it seems like everybody's making a ton of money with it. But in reality, if you take a look at the statistics, it's not a high number. And some people get filthy rich from it. So, these are also extremes. But and I'm not saying you shouldn't invest in it. I'm saying you should. But a portfolio that is balanced is that has really strict rules for how much % you should invest in long-term safe assets. This is the majority usually of your assets, like of your savings, and then a small percentage is going to divide it in a divided way to like very high volatility, very high potential, very high risk investments, medium investments, and like kind of medium high risk investments. That way you can really balance it out. And if something is really going well, then you could make profit. But still, your biggest your biggest savings are going into safe accounts that are kind of keeping you up to date with the inflation. So what I wanted to show you is that the issue with averages and medians are so crazy. For example, like we have 10 people. So let's average and the median of these salaries. So you have, let's say, I don't know what you should, but we have 10 people. First is making 1k, like $1,000. Second is making $1,000. Third is making $1,000. Then the fourth is making just 150. The fifth is making $2,000. The fourth is making the sixth is making $2,000. The seventh is making $3,000. The eighth is making around let's say, let's jump a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, and here we are talking about the countries that have a bigger middle class, just so, and normal average country. Yeah, and so these are the kind of in this specific country, these are the top earners. And then we have another, we have the other, we had the $1,000 earners, and we had these kind of a couple $1,000 earners who are living a pretty good life. They can afford healthcare, or it is universal. They have some money left after taxes. They can go vacation sometime, and and now I can't adjust these numbers to any country. So you could say, man, in my country we are making $200 or I know $100. Yeah, and all the prices are of course lower because the local currency with the local currency you can buy a lot of stuff even for $10, while in the US you can buy a coffee. So yeah, we can't compare these things. This is an average country where the lower class people are making $1,000, and the around the higher end normal working people are making around $5,000 a month. It's per month. So it is an average OECD country. Yeah. So, and then there are some people who are making it is not even really good, because with 100 people it would be so much better for my me showcasing this. But let's just do it because I just wanted to do it for a long time, because I am going crazy when people are talking about averages. Like $1 million, and there is a guy who is making $1 billion, because we have a whole range of people. Let's see. So the thing is that most countries, most governments, they really hate median calculation. So they are never calculating median for even salaries, because why would we? It's just crazy. So based on the average the average person is making an insane amount of money. Like, what is this? You are saying this? So you are making around $100 million a month. Very good. But the median is showing just 2,000. Which one do you think is more realistic? Now, which one is that? Crazy. If your government is never saying the median income, then they are just fucking with you, basically. Why the F are always showing just the average? I went crazy. I was actually, I'm not kidding, I was arguing with a government related mathematician who was saying average is better. Like, man, I can tell you, like, just like weekly, right now, 100 ways you can calculate not the average, like what the kind of the normal person is earning. Like, there are so many ways I can come up with, just with just with simple equations to complex equations, basically anything. But no, we are using average. So, man, it's not great. The state of what is, wow, I don't love. Let's see. You are absolutely right to be frustrated. Government injuries actually will report. If you are living in a country that is not in the top of the world, let's just say, you never see the median. What you are seeing is always the average. So, yeah. And when they are talking on the press conferences, all these things, what the average guy is going to hear is the average salary, and he is going to be outraged. And that, man, I am not making $100 million. It's just a joke, but if you are using just 100 or 10,000 like people and average it that way, you are going to get a much closer number to the reality than just with 10. Yeah, political convenience. Politicians can cherry pick whichever statistics make them look better. Rising averages sound more impressive than stagnant medians. And you could calculate it in your head. If you have more billionaires in your country's GDP, for example, or average salary, it depends. Salary is also an interesting thing with billionaires and stuff, but it is generally going to rise. But actually, median salary is going to stay the same for 20 years. Yeah, I think maybe in the US they are publishing these, maybe in some countries, but I have seen a lot of countries where it's really hard to find the median stuff. Like, why this matters so much? When income equality is so high, like now, averages become completely meaningless for understanding how regular people are doing. A few billionaires can get richer, make average income rise, while most people are basically struggling, and it stagnates. So yeah, it's great that some like now it would be great if everybody would release these media reports, but I think many governments don't really want you to know that, because they can really avoid any kind of bad situation for themselves if they are just publishing the averages. It's crazy. So it's just one thing that frustrates me. Sorry, because I know it's not the biggest thing in the world, but also it's kind of is, because if you are seeing like threads and comments, it seems like nobody understands the average. What is it? Why it is so high when I am making this amount of money and everybody I know is making this amount of money? That is not the average, it's below average. Because if they would if they would see the median, they would feel so much better. Like, yeah, I am actually above median. Like, yeah, but below average. How is that? Okay, so sorry for the ranting. I am a crazy person. So what I wanted to talk about is that in this crazy world, I decided that I am going to do some even crazier. And basically, I'm going to put almost all of my assets to my own robots, because I have done so many challenges over the years, and I feel like I need some bigger challenge, because it was a challenge to make money from a $100 account, then was a challenge to make money from prop firms. That both I could prove that it's possible, both. Then I want to show like people that, and it is because I am telling you why I want to do this, because I have seen a picture, and nowadays I am getting the rage mode many times. It was showing you 100 people, 2 charts, and it was like gambling versus forex trading, and it was like from gambling there are, I don't know, from 100 there are 10 people who are winning, and from forex trading is 2%. I got enraged, and it is because what kind of statistics are these? I'm not even saying it is not true, but from what perspective, from what kind of numbers, what is the period? It is the same as with celebrities and their IQ numbers. Like, without the deviation, what are you talking about? Oh man, okay, so you can, okay, so everybody is like, it is the same. Like, how much risk you are using for a trade, and they are saying like, yeah, my stop loss is this. You can't really tell what is your risk based on your stop loss. And then they're saying, like another person is saying, my lot size is this. You can't say based on your lot size. You know what is the ultimate risk? Stop loss and lot size, and your account, the deposit, your balance, because that is the way you can calculate risk. You can't calculate risk on one singular number. Why? Okay, because if you have $10,000 and you are using 0.01 lot with 1,000 pip stop loss, it's still not a huge risk. But if you have $100, even 50 pips stop loss is huge risk with 0.01 lot size. So I hope you understand what I mean. It's all relative. You have different, you need multiple numbers to calculate equations. You can't really arrive to a conclusion if you don't have enough numbers to calculate your equation. So the reason I am doing this is because I believe that it is entirely possible to trade safely and to have maybe even lower risk than with the medium safety investments with correct lot sizes, correct stop losses, correct risk overall. And I am going to open an account where I am putting everything in order for this project, and I am also opening more than 20 accounts for different kind of EAs because I love diversification. As you can see, I already started to put up my new, like the Apex 5.0 update. Last week I put it up, and what I wanted to show you is that actually the update for the Apex EA was pretty good because it had a very interesting year. The markets were pretty crazy, as you know, and it had a couple of like you know, break even to negative, little bit positive months. But since I published the new update, which is like a completely new update, basically it's crazy, it actually made just in July almost 9%. So I think I'm going to follow it very closely, the new Apex. And also the V2 set files did pretty good. The M15 sets are making many more trades. We need some more time because it's more volatile, but it is at 2% plus right now. I am only trading now at EC markets, and I highly appreciate if you sign up at EC markets with my link. And my robots are generally like tested on EC markets, and I'm trading on it. So yeah, this is just another thing I wanted to tell you. If you are interested in more statistics, more raging, more news about my EAs, my projects, let me know in the comments. Ciao.